community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Underwriting for WSKB's community radio programming is brought to you in part by R. Levesque Associates. They are offering landscape architecture, civil engineering, environmental permitting, and land surveying. RLA is a second-generation company devoted to excellence in the planning and design of outdoor spaces. On the web at rlaland.com or at 40 School Street in Westfield.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for Arts Beat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Love that song. You know what that is, right? Yes. Oh, I can't hear you. Are you using the wrong microphone? All right. Anyway, good morning, everybody. This is the Joe Show.
She faked me out for a minute.
Oh, okay, yeah. Duped ya. I'm Joe Rouse. I'm your host of the Joe Show. Also have my, I think, second official show of co-host Carol Palmer, who's my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here we are. It's all in the family. And
that should be your theme song.
Yeah, you know what? Not a bad idea. I'm not married to Magnum PI.
Okay.
So we got a lot to get to. One of the first things that the new segment I promised for last week when I needed to, what was I was getting something off my chest last week. It was making me crazy.
You were venting.
Yeah. I'm not really venting. Now this one, Pete, I just can't believe how coincidental this was. So one of the things I need to get off my chest is crosswalks. Now Tina just went through a whole thing with Gary about, pedestrian safety, and it's a big thing in the news. They did a story on it yesterday, too.
National Walking Day, that's why.
That's why. So coincidentally, I had it on my agenda and on the outline, and I told my co-host last week I wanted to talk about this because it makes me crazy. So I started to delve into it a little bit and prove to myself that I wasn't wrong in my observations of get off your phone when you're crossing the street. Now, if you will start to see this. This is one of those things. It's called distracted walking on National Walking Day.
Well, that's why we've seen the uptick in accidents, and now in response to the people not paying attention to motor vehicles, they're putting in all these raised crosswalks where you really don't need them because people aren't paying attention.
Right.
There's
exactly.
certain places where I can see that are racetracks. I get it.
Yep.
Like there's a couple now in Holyoke.
Well,
but if you're on your cell phone and you get hit by a car, that's your fault. It ain't necessarily the driver's fault.
It is, except the thing that irks me is I've seen it happen. I've seen somebody get run over by a car because of not paying attention and looking both ways before you cross the street and cross when it's safe. Isn't that what we're all taught? Somehow that doesn't translate anymore. So the problem is, it is your fault if you're looking at your phone, you get hit by a car, but you have a whole bunch of other people that have to watch you get hit by a car, and that's no good for anybody. So,
Right.
so one of the things is that you're right. 40% now they calculated of the accidents. Somebody pedestrian being hit in a crosswalk is because of distracted walking. So you either have headphones on.
It's bad that we have to. It's bad that we have to coin a term for that.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous, but it's there, and it is what it is. And you'll see it all the time now. You will take notice. In fact, and I have to say this because sometimes the police department, and I'm not putting them down, but they do their monitoring of whether cars are stopping for pedestrians in the crosswalk. And the last time I saw them doing it, and I only knew it because I recognized the officer that was the guy crossing the street, was on his phone. Okay?
Well,
Now-
technically, according to the law, as the motorist, anytime somebody enters a crosswalk, you're supposed to stop.
Yes, you are. But you know what the problem is? I'm operating a 4,000-pound vehicle. I'm trying not to hit other 4,000-pound vehicles. I'm trying not to hit potholes, and maybe there's a sun glare, and I just simply don't see you. So bad on me, if you get hit in the crosswalk because I didn't stop. But yet, at the same time, you're the one that's going to get hurt, not me. So
Can I chime in here?
Sure.
Okay, legally, and this is what pedestrians don't understand, is that you have to be in the crosswalk.
Yes.
You cannot be on the curb thinking that cars are going to stop. They might, but technically
That would be a courtesy.
you have to be in the crosswalk for legally for them to stop.
yeah, there are some areas now where you'll see the entry zone to the crosswalk, which
Yep.
is like this orange area.
Yeah.
And there's one on Elm Street. If you're in that area, then cars are supposed to stop for you.
Yeah, but
because it's a short walk, it's not
Right.
like a big long thing.
and what's the fine for a car that goes through a crosswalk when somebody's standing there?
I don't know.
Because one time, and I won't mention where the crosswalk is, but I was standing there, and I think it's like, I don't know, $200 or something like that. And I'm counting 200, 400, 600, 800 of the cars, and I was in the crosswalk that didn't stop.
Well,
They just didn't stop.
here's the end of my things I need to get off my chest is that
Your rant.
you're right, okay, but now what they're doing is they're placing the focus on the wrong issue. Crosswalks say, motorists, you must stop for pedestrians in a crosswalk. Okay, great, and what if they don't? Somebody's going to die.
Yeah.
Right? So let's say, don't put it all on the driver. Now, if somebody's innocently crossing the street and they are actually paying attention, they can probably avert getting hit by a car, like the squirrels do when they see the car, and they just go back the other way. And now 80,000 injuries sustained from pedestrian every year getting hit in a crosswalk. 4,000 people die every year. And like I said, 40% of those are attributed to distracted walking with your device and not looking both ways and watching out for speeding crazy. 4,000. Do you honestly trust people in our society that much that you're going to say that you're going to risk your life and be all indignant about it? Like, well, they have to stop for me. Okay, and if they don't, you're dead. So why don't you watch for them instead of them watching for you? You literally have nothing else to do when you're crossing the street except look to make sure you don't get killed.
Maybe the theme of this should be a squirrel.
Be a squirrel. Or just stop looking at your phone all the time. And don't get that false sense of protection. Those painted
Yeah.
lines don't put up a force field so that cars are not going to hit.
Neither do the lights.
Correct. So
Now
please.
you know the rest of the story.
That's my cue to be done. All right, we're going to move on because...
Wait a minute, you
what?
didn't get my off my chest.
Well, you can go. Yeah, so I'm done with that. All right, so everybody,
Okay.
go.
So get it off my chest and very quickly. Guys, quit saying guys. Oh, for God's sake. Every time,
How about
whether
dude?
I know. No.
Dude?
How about people? Like I had
Dude.
the waitress come up and say, "Are you guys ready to order?" I don't care if you're male or female.
You rather have them say y'all?
No,
That's what I said.
I'd rather have them say, "Would you people like to order? Would this crowd like to order?" I mean, there's other words you can use besides guys, and I hate to say this because I'm currently working with a lot of younger people, and it's their thing. Hi guys.
Yep.
What are you doing, guys? You know what? And it's not a gender thing. It's a.
It's an age thing.
It's not an age thing.
Who said that?
It's a. I'm gonna smack you. Where's my wooden spoon? No, it's a polite thing. It's a society thing. It's not that I don't want to be called a guy. In the play that we're currently in, I'm playing a guy, but that's got nothing to do with it. The point is, it's rude. I think it's rude to just look at a crowd and say, "All right, guys."
Oh, the youth of
I don't
America
like
have
it.
no idea what rude means. They just don't.
Well, they
And,
need
and
to
here's
learn.
mine. Here's my PSA. They just don't know.
Ooh,
More you
wow,
know.
that was nice.
All right, I'm done.
All right.
I got an effect for just about everything.
Well, what else do you guys want to talk about?
Oh, stop.
Oh, now, see? You never should have told me.
Spoon.
Okay. So,
No. Here's something better. If you don't know what that sound
yeah,
is,
well,
you might be too young.
you're never going to catch me. So,
And it ends with
ouch.
yeah.
Well, you hit my phone. So one of the things that I like now is we started to come into our own in this show and, getting out messages about health and community health and that sort of thing. Not really being the sole focus, but nonetheless, there's always a general underlying theme. And we did, what was it? We did health benefits of napping last month.
I swear by it.
Yes, absolutely.
I had to yesterday because I had a 17-hour day and I needed an hour power nap.
Yeah, I mean, well, aren't all your days 17 hours?
I try not to, but yeah, they're close.
This is the part where I need to put on my glasses. Right. Did you hear about they have some new prescription eye drop that
So you
will
don't need
make
reading
it-
glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, I need that. Is there any eye doctors out there? Call
What are,
me.
what are the side effects?
We don't know. I don't know.
I think
Well-
headache was one.
You might have it in Go See Mr. Forney. His dad is Ken Forney.
Okay.
You know, Ken's eyewear.
Yes.
Are those girl glasses?
What? No, they're not girl glasses.
Sure.
Wow.
Because they kind of look like girl glasses.
All right. Now, it's a good thing we're on the radio. So I want to talk about the health benefits of morning lemon water. Think about
Morning
it.
lemon-
Morning lemon water.
So
I've been-
acid. Is that
Acid.
just introducing acid?
Correct, and a bunch of other things which I'll talk to. There's a whole list of the health benefits to that.
Is your guest giving you the evil eye?
She's laughing.
Okay.
She sneezed.
Yeah.
So
So I've been doing it for years because I read something a long time ago, and plus I love lemons. I'll just eat lemons. I like the sour stuff, but then I started to look into it even more and realized that there really are some bona fide health benefits. First of all, vitamin C boosts your immune system. And this is right in the morning. You get up before you have coffee, before you have juice, and maybe even skip the juice. Take a half a lemon, squeeze the juice into a glass, put some water in there. You're diluting it. A lot of people think lemons aren't good for your teeth because the acid eats away at the enamel. But in this particular case, you're diluting it, so it's fine. You'll be fine.
Okay.
But they are high in vitamin C, even just this half a lemon that I'm talking about. They're also good for your brain because they're high in potassium. So that will stimulate brain and nerve function. And they're also heart healthy. Potassium, again, may help control blood pressure. And the vitamin C you get may reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke. This is for a half a lemon. And if you don't like lemons, I mean, I don't really know anybody who doesn't like lemons. I mean, you can't eat them like an orange, although I will. But if you're diluting it with water, it's no different than lemonade. I mean, who doesn't like lemonade?
A lot of hotels that down south do full pitchers. They ice water, and
Yep.
it's just loaded with lemons.
Yep, seen it. Love it.
Yep.
Lemon juice balances the body's pH. So, the acidity and drinking alkaline foods, and I'm pretty sure that coffee would fall into that category. And also you got to remember, in your stomach is acid. That's what we need to properly digest food. So it's not like you're putting something into your body that's going to make your stomach sick, although it does counterintuitive a little bit, but it actually helps. So there's a report that says it will help with weight loss because they're high in pectin fiber, which could help fight hunger cravings. Wow.
Now,
this is-
can you go buy some real lemon, the juice that they sell in the store, and if you don't have time to juice a lemon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, definitely. You just got to
Has to
try
be
and
real lemon juice.
Yeah, you just have to try and figure out with that liquid thing what would constitute the juice of half a lemon. So it might say that on there, like, a tablespoon is equal to the
Yeah.
juice of 1 lemon or something like that.
It says it on there.
Yeah. It also aids in digestion. It encourages the liver to produce bile, acid that is required for digestion. And what else? Oh my gosh, it just goes on and on. Now remember, again, I'm talking about the juice of half a lemon in the morning with some water. It's also a diuretic, which means it'll increase your urination rate throughout the day, which will purify you.
Potassium helps with that too.
Correct. And so even better, the citric acid content of the lemons may help prevent kidney stones. So by making the urine less acidic. It clears your skin. The vitamin C in a warm lemon, and by the way, warm lemon water is better than cold lemon water.
I was going to add that.
But it's not the be-all to end-all. If you can't stand drinking warm water.
How about if you have a tea in the morning, can you add lemon juice to that?
Yeah, I guess you could, but it's all about getting that pure lemon mixture into your stomach. You can go on and have tea afterwards if you want, but this is all about strictly just the lemon and the water mixture to begin with. Like this morning, I had lemon water, and then 5 minutes later, I had coffee, and I'm fine.
Okay.
So the vitamin C in the warm lemon water helps decrease wrinkles and blemishes by helping purge toxins from the blood. Okay? It freshens your breath. So now with the people I have sitting at the table with me this morning, I won't be offending you with my bad breath because I drank lemon water.
Okay.
All right. It also may even help respiratory problems. Can help eliminate chest infections. Now, I remember when I was a kid, and there was this mixture of, I think it was lemon. What was it? What else was it? It was like water, whiskey, or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, it's called a hot toddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my great grandmother actually used to give that to me
Yeah.
when I was a kid if she felt like I was getting sick or had a
Sore
cold
throat.
or something.
Sore throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's because the vitamin C in the lemon juice boosts the immune system, and the compound also helps the body resist asthma triggers as a result. So this just gets better and better, doesn't it? It's amazing.
How old is this study that you've?
It's from this morning.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I
No.
just want to say your great grandmother, the same lady, used to tell me all the time that every morning she had hot water and lemon, and she swore by it.
Yeah.
And she was always a very healthy lady.
Well, I don't think they did the study until, this one was through one of the national, I didn't write down who it was, national reputable sources that was within the last 3 years. So,
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is this isn't recent news.
No.
This goes way, way, way back.
Yeah, but it's such a simple, easy
I
thing
know.
to do with all of these multiple benefits, and it's so it's also good for your liver. If I didn't mention that, toxins out of your body, and it keeps you zen,
What?
which will bleed right into our next segment.
Zen.
Vitamin C is one of the first things depleted when you subject your mind and body to stress.
Ah.
Boom.
Okay.
I'm going to start having a whole lemon every
I was
morning
just going to
now, right?
say.
I'm going to overdose on lemon
Pour
water.
me a lemon.
And the other thing, the last one, it's kind of a thing. I won't subscribe to this, but it does help you kick the coffee habit if you're really trying. I can tell you when I had coffee 5 minutes after lemon water this morning, it wasn't the same as just having coffee.
Really?
Yeah, it was just a little bit different taste. So,
I may have a video. I'm endeavoring to get a video that Fred Gore took of distracted pedestrians in Westfield.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I'm gonna go check it out right now.
Okay.
Okay.
You can do that. We still have 5 minutes until we're going to take a break, which, you got any thoughts on the lemon water? I know you said this is an age-old sort of thing.
It is. It's very. And she always used to. My grandmother, your great grandmother, always used to drink it with hot she swore by the hot water with lemon.
I do the warm water, so it'll be like room temperature water.
Yeah.
Because I like to be able to just down it real. I don't want to have to sip it because I need to.
She told me
move
that
on.
for years, so she must have learned it like from her mother, and
Yeah, it's crazy
etc.
those old timey things that you find out
Yeah,
actually are
and
true when science kicks
natural.
in and backs it up. That's a very nice thing. So there you go, lemon water. Now we're going to keep trying to find, other health benefits of stuff every month that's simple, easy, non-controversial, right? Indisputable.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Drink lemon water in the morning and you'll thank me later. I can be reached at the health department, by the way. It's where I work. So,
Is it called? Never mind.
Yeah.
Should we go into Peace at the Deep End?
Pete, do you want to if you do the video, you want to do it after the break or before?
It'll probably be after Fred's emailing me the link.
Okay.
Okay.
So, we have a few minutes. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Peace at the Deep End, for those of you just tuning in the first time, very quick explanation. Kids were small. Finally, the day that they were independent in the pool, I got to move my chair to the deep end of the pool where it's very peaceful, as opposed to the shallow end where the babies are crying and the mommies are yelling. And I discovered that was like a new segment of my life. So I'm there again, or I got there again when I retired. I became this person at the deep end that didn't have to go to meetings, listen to bosses, etc. So every month I've been talking about life at the deep end. And this time I found, because I thought to myself, I don't want it to sound like you can't do anything, just sit there and rest, your life is over. What I meant was it's a new chapter in your life. And I found some very interesting research about people who excelled after the age of 70 or 60, like Laura Ingalls Wilder, Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, the
Okay.
one where that girl goes blind?
Yes, later in the series,
Yeah.
there was one. Anyway, Laura was 64 years old before she wrote her first book.
Wow.
And then it became a series after that. Susan B. Anthony was past the age of 80 when she formed the International Women's Suffrage Alliance. Pablo Picasso, at the age of 87, produced 347 pieces of art
After what age? you
in
said?
1 year, after the age of 87.
Woo.
So Benjamin Franklin was 70-ish, when he signed the Declaration of Independence. Mother Teresa received the Nobel Peace Prize at age 69. So the list goes on. And of course, many of us know the famous actors now that are well over the age of 70 that are still performing, which is a feat unto itself. At age 95, Nola Ox became the oldest college graduate when she received a bachelor's degree from Fort Hays State University in Kansas. And she didn't stop there. She went on to pursue a master's degree as well. So my point to all this, and there's many, many, many stories here, but my point to it is that this isn't like the end of your active life. This is, I'm done with this. I've made a living for my family. It's my time. Now I'm going to go ahead and do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not what I have to do, but what I want to do.
See, I like the concept because, when I retire, I've already decided my aspirations are, and I always dream big, is that I'm going to have a famous national chain of hot dog carts. How do you like that?
Oh, good. There's a job for me.
Yeah.
All right, I have that clip.
You want to do that now?
Yeah, courtesy Fred Grow. I don't know if there's any sound or not.
All right.
But look at this.
Is that a baby thing?
Yeah,
Oh, my God. And
Look at
that's an
this.
ambulance or police
a
car.
cruiser. And they completely ignored it. And then
Yep.
there's a bicycle.
And a bicycle's not a pedestrian.
No.
Ped from the Latin for foot, not wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That's one intersection. That's by
Yeah.
Abner Gibbs. That's Franklin.
Just not paying attention. How do you not even see flashing lights?
I know.
Well,
Or how do you not hear it?
How do you not hear it?
The baby was crying. That's why I'll give her an excuse.
Oh, good Lord.
See, I told you.
You have to yield for emergency vehicle, whether you're a pedestrian or a motorcyclist or
Yeah.
a bicyclist or whatever.
By the way,
Always.
but real quick, you want to know the most powerful vehicle on the road?
What?
School bus. School bus beats, if you're doing rock, paper, scissors, it's
Yeah.
always going to win. You can have a fire engine screaming down the street. If a school bus has its lights on, they have to stop. Believe that.
Well, because there's potential for kids
There's-
crossing.
Yeah,
Kids,
but
yeah.
I mean, I loved it one day. I was on Court Street. The ambulance was
By
coming
the way,
down
thank
from
you,
Noble.
Fred.
Thank you, Fred. Ambulance was coming down from Noble. School bus was stopped going the other way, had the arm out, had the lights on, and I was sitting behind it going, oh my God, this is like watching Mothra and Godzilla. Who's going to win? I couldn't play. And, so I guess the school bus was Godzilla. Anyway, it's 8:30. Thank you, Mother, for that inspiring piece at the deep end. We'll have to give more time for that
That's fine.
next time. And so we're going to take a break real quick. I have the everybody's favorite part, dad joke of the day. And after the break, we're going to be talking to...
We should have switched songs and went to this one. Name that tune. We'll
Yeah,
give you
that-
the answer after the break.
That'll get stuck in my head, too. Go, go, Godzilla.
Well, you brought
Say
it up.
singing career.
You brought it up.
Perspective. Yeah, I know. So we're going to be talking about the benefits of yoga after the break. So everybody's favorite part, dad joke of the month. Why is it so easy to get an appointment with a yoga instructor?
Why?
Because they're so flexible.
I like that one.
Yeah, boy. Okay. The other part.
I gotta get the laugh from The Simpsons.
We'll
I
just
gotta get. I'll
record-
have to get that one.
That was good. Record you doing it.
Kenny's got it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get it from him.
The other part, the fun part of the break is every month songs that will get stuck in your head. Take it away, Pete.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio 89.5 WSKB.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Good morning. Welcome to the Joe Show. I'm Joe Rouse, in studio with producer Pete, giving us all kinds of sounds and videos.
Now, last time I had this guest in the studio to do a show, she's like, "Do I have to talk?"
Who said that?
The same voice that said it to you before.
Along with my co-host Carol Palmer, or Mama Palmer, as I like to call her. We have Terry Summers from the Westfield YMCA Active Older Adult. She's here to talk about benefits of yoga, and I honestly know nothing about it, and I purposely did no research because I'm sure I'll have a million questions for you because I know nothing. But I do know people will say that yoga can change your life, right? I think that's a bit of a stretch, but you can hit that button. Hit that button now. There you go.
Hit the button.
All right. Terry, what would you like to talk about? Promote your wares.
Promote the wares. Well, I'm just going to start with a general statement of the purpose of yoga is to build strength, awareness, and a harmony in the mind and body.
Ooh.
So is that life changing?
Yeah.
I'll ask you a question.
I would think so.
Possibly.
I would hope so. I need that.
It's for everyone. And I think that's what's great about yoga is that you can take it so many places. You can just delve into, people do, you just did yoga. Yoga is the start of cleansing breath, refocusing, so many things.
So that's a good thing to know because I think that with my ignorance of yoga, what I see it as in my head is a whole bunch of monks sitting in a room or something, and they're doing like
that'd be more
crazy.
Like chanting.
Okay, I don't know,
right?
but so it's not all about just the physical movement and contortions and things that people might think it is. It's really
well. There's 8 premises of yoga, and it's actually I forgot to write the big word of it, but it's Ashtabanga, something.
There's like an acronym or something.
Well, yoga has these wonderful long names. Asanas are actually the poses or positions. So the 8 points of yoga are very interesting, again, I feel, because I'm into yoga. And, of course, you can take any of these one things, or you can take all of them, or in any inclination thereof. So the first one is abstinence. And if you delve into that, you think of, well, abstinence. You can take that into a couple of different ways, right? Even that within itself. It's observations is the second one. So again, just walking across the street, driving your car. Hi, folks. How are you? What are you having tonight for dinner? Observations, right? Yoga poses, as we were saying before, those are the asanas. And sometimes those freak people out. It's like, ooh, prasasana.
I don't know. I'm watching on the little monitor down there in the set, and it looks pretty easy.
Who looks at that? I love that purple shirt, by the way. I think that's my favorite.
So we'll show a demo while you guys are
Oh,
talking.
well, thank
Sure.
you. Yeah, that's
a good
over the
idea.
rainbow with your leg. So sit in a chair and do yoga. Yes, you can. The fourth 8 of the 8 is breath control, which has a lot to do with finding inner peace or calming the brain. They say deep breathing, blood pressure lowering, right? Withdraw from the senses. So that's kind of being another awareness, taking each of the senses and not listening. So how would I adapt that? I would be at the dentist office and not hearing the drill. I would be hearing my sound? What do I choose to hear? So that's one way to take yourself away from a sense to put yourself in a better place. The next one is concentration, which, of course, yes, we need to bring that in. With our active older adults, it can be just giving them a sequence, words or numbers, asking them to count while you're doing the wonderful leg exercises or arm exercises. Meditation is the seventh one, which people, again, what level do you want to take that to? Do you want to take it to a minute, 2 minutes? We don't start planking for 30 seconds. We start at 5 seconds too. We move up to 5. So that's the other thing. Yoga, do you immerse yourself? Is it like cardio class? Do you just run right in? You take it a little slow. Last one is absorption, which kind of makes sense. It's kind of the whole thing of bringing all of it together into one, hopefully beneficial.
It's fascinating to me because, like I said, usually in preparation of speaking to the public or being on the show or whatever, I kind of want to know what I'm talking about with respect to the topic or the guest or whatever. In this case, I said, no, I'm not going to do it because I'll learn something and then I'll ask good questions. So it's really not the type of thing that people need to have any experience with or any knowledge of. You go into, and you have at the Y, is there just, for lack of a better term, not chair yoga, but just like a regular yoga class? Or
We have a plethora of classes at the Y.
Okay.
Same thing with cardio classes, strength classes, yoga classes run from a regular yoga, which we would definitely have a certified yoga instructor with at least 200 hours of a certification. There's also chair yogas, and a chair yoga can take you on and off a chair. It can take you in front of a chair, behind a chair. You don't have to necessarily only be sitting in the chair. The chair can be used as a prop.
Okay.
Even, say thinking of working on a wall with an active older person who's not able to get down and off the floor, you can still do a push-up. You could do a push-up on a floor. You can do a push-up on a wall. You can do a push-up on a safe chair. How do you make a safe chair? You either put it on a wall or you put a yoga mat, make sure all 4 of the legs are on the mat.
I see that.
And then it's like the yoga socks where you don't move. Everybody loves my yoga socks because I'll stop.
Stop on a dime.
Stop before I go out to the crosswalk because I'm looking at my phone and not paying attention.
Oh, okay.
To bring it all back to, right?
That's what we do. So yeah, very interesting. I like the idea, and it's always kind of intrigued me. But I thought to myself, like, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like, I would be walking into a class. Like, first of all, I can hardly even bend over it without hurting myself in some way. My hamstring's gonna pop. My back's gonna do something. So I imagine there's a kind of when the classes start, there's like an introductory level, and then there's different.
Yeah, we
advanced.
will teach a class and take a look at a class. Obviously, as an instructor, someone's new to the class, I always try to make sure I introduce myself, ask if they have any background in the class that they're looking at. Depending on what their answer is how far I will take my explanation before. Then, after everyone's either sitting down or standing, you come into your basics. You always start with your forward and your back motion, as with any exercise. You add left and right, and then thirdly you add some twisting, because that's the basic of a group exercise or any exercise premise. You always have a forward and back motion that we normally live in that plane. We normally don't go left and right unless we're told to, our lateral, right? You're not going to walk down the sidewalk and go sidestep.
Well,
you might if you're Carol Palmer, because as we know. But then it's just focus. So we always tell people, work to your own ability. If it hurts, don't do it. If you don't have my cell phone number, you can't call me later. I don't care if it hurts 8 hours later. But that's what yoga's for. Yoga's for that stretching. I always tell people, revisit those places and those moves that spoke to you. How do you tell someone, hopefully not to hurt themselves? Come to a sensation where you feel your body speaking to you, not yelling at you.
Yeah, your body will tell you its limits.
Hello?
You don't have to worry about it.
Bam, bam, bam. No. Right? So that's why there's high impact aerobics, low impact aerobics, where you don't jump. So always unawareness. It brings us back to being inside yourself. And of course, not being inside yourself so that you're hypochondriac and I feel every single thing, but being aware of the body and the flow. And you really want to have people expand what they think is their limit. I can only move my arm to here. Are you sure? Maybe with that next exhale, a minimum amount, you know?
Terry also teaches at the senior center where I am.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes, I did know that.
Okay.
I've seen her there.
Just double checking.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're in, correct me if I'm wrong.
I'd love to. No.
Okay, there's the buttons right there. There are many different forms of yoga. Yes?
Yes.
We have a couple of them on our station between you and Renee Ricks.
Renee,
There's two
yes. Right.
completely different styles of yoga.
Right, but I mean not just styles. I mean there are actual forms.
Correct. Like there's hatha.
Right, right.
One that's, Vishanasa. I have not actually practiced my yoga associations enough, which I find English hard, which is what keeps me away from some of the asanas.
Is Kriptalu or whatever?
Kripalu.
That's up in the Berkshires, right?
Kripalu, yes.
Yeah, that is a yoga center area.
That's not a style?
No, it's not a style. It's a destination.
I know it is. I know it's like a whole resort type thing.
It really is. And there's a lot of yoga teachings and learnings that do happen there.
They have a training program up
absolutely.
there. Yeah.
Different 200-hour, 300-hour, 500-hour.
Yep.
And really, to find those certificates, you have to be able to speak all of it, move all of it, do all of it, and that type of thing. Over at the senior center, I was lucky enough to come in as a YMCA instructor, group instructor, when they first opened up and were looking for, different things for the folks to be able to do now that they had a fitness room. Fitness room. I mean, I can remember the excitement there from going to that little box to that wonderful, wonderful building over there.
And then we had COVID and you came back to a little box.
Well, exactly. We did 3 years of classes of 20 people, and it didn't seem like it was a lot of people when it was 20 people in the room.
Right.
But when the COVID came and we did
it was just you and me.
Yeah, Pete. And I wanted you to do chair yoga with me, by the way. But yeah, and then I had to find myself in front of
I was doing a little bit in the control room, but I also had to do the show.
Right,
so.
I believe you. You were breathing. I know you were. But again, so we switched. So, and then we came back, and of course now it's like we were farther apart because there was this Board of Health and recommendations, and CDC, and masks and no masking.
Darn government.
I'm so over it, right? So
we all are.
We all
are.
Yeah.
But actually, who has had the "it's still you're too close to me" moments?
Oh yeah, I think absolutely. I have it all the time. I mean, I probably had it before that anyway, but even just in passing people in the grocery stores, I will intentionally turn so that we're not facing each other, or if somebody's looking at something and I need something that's next to them, I'll wait until they get out of the way. I'm not going to go stand next to them. Yeah.
It's personal space.
Right.
I thought it became more important.
Yeah, there's still the flu and the norovirus going around, so it's always better to.
Like I say, Carol's very smart. There is more than one germ.
Yeah.
Something's going to get you, but
yeah.
I'd rather not be somebody sneezing on me.
Possibilities.
Right. So
Yeah.
anyways, back to yoga.
Well, I got this thing here that says lifelong yoga enthusiast. Her name is Tao Porchun Lynch. She fell and broke her hip at age 87. And she had a hip replacement, and of course they told her, you're done with yoga and activity in general. She did not take that advice.
No, she didn't.
And a month after her surgery, not only did she continue with her yoga, she began taking ballroom dance lessons, and at age 93 was winning dance competitions and still teaching 12 yoga classes a week. So I think because of her experience with yoga and her strength and flexibility, that allowed her to go on to continue. And so to Terry's point, you really need to know your own body. The medical community is wonderful, of course, and replacing a hip or replacing a knee is like a miracle. But you need to know, and I don't know if Pete knows this, But about a week after my valve replacement surgery, year and a half ago.
Oh, I know. You were in here against doctor's orders.
Right.
believe.
I recorded that exercise class.
I know. I heard from Tina saying, keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
She's just out of surgery.
Right.
She thinks she's better. But I remember you were pooped at the end of that.
Yeah, true. But,
You were pooped.
But I'm now teaching 4 classes a week, my walking program, and I got a letter. Okay, folks, this is incredible. My surgeon called me like a couple weeks ago and then sent a handwritten letter that my heart is in wonderful shape and my valve is working perfectly, and signed it and said at the end, he said, "This is good news." I'm like,
Did
well,
you frame it?
No.
So,
In case you don't understand.
yeah, and that was Dr. Lau from Bay State. So I just never got a letter from a doctor before. Well, I can't say that because the other knee replacement guy for my husband sent us a letter too. So.
No, I just get bills.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, we got that too.
They do
but-
say please, please pay this now.
But those wonderful things happen to us as we progress and mature. But there's an old expression. What's the old expression? It's not so much that you got knocked down, but what is important is, do you get back up?
Oh, there's a song about that.
And then what do you do when you get back up?
And I bet Joe knows it.
I have a poster on, well, not a poster, it's a framed picture on my wall of that saying with other things, inspirational stuff like that.
Yep.
With a picture of Rocky, at the top of the stairs with the thing. I think
yeah.
it was probably in one of those movies where he said that.
Oh, yeah.
Probably one of the ones that nobody saw, like Rocky 4 something.
Well, life is going to punch you down, and
Yep.
and my microphone.
Yeah, you just punched your microphone.
I didn't touch my microphone.
You
It doesn't
Will
like me
Smith
this
that
morning.
thing.
But how do you get back up, and what do you do when you get back up? And just as a side note to this wonderful lady here, she is extremely knowledgeable and a wonderful instructor. All the people that take her classes just love her. But I just want you to know, I trained her. I trained her before I retired from the Y.
Yes,
she was in my classes, and I knew right away this is a person who will associate with and relate to the population that I was teaching, people over 60. And I could teach an instructor to do anything. I can't teach you to be that kind of person. You either are or you aren't. And Terry is.
Thank you, Carol.
So I gotta ask, because I heard the components of yoga and the underlying theme is the benefits. So it sounds to me like, it's a lot more cerebral than I thought it was. So there's that, which is a good thing. Everybody needs a little. I mean, one of the things we like to focus on this show, and the reason why you're here, is that we took that community health aspect and turned it into more of a mental health or a mental wellness sort of thing. So knowing that this is something that can provide you with a better mental state, a better place to be. Physically, though, what is it that, what comes out of doing yoga for a reasonable period of time? Obviously, nothing's going to come out after one class or one thing.
Well, you might be surprised as far as finding mental clarity, yes, and finding a reduction of stress. Body-wise, again, finding that awareness. What is your range of motion? And you get strength from, if you're in the chair, pushing and pulling against yourself, extending your body and holding it. You have abdominal muscles, you have back erector muscles. Those need to get moved, your hips. So we really just try to have you focus on, as we're telling you what form you're doing, where you should be feeling it, what type of reaction you should have in your body. You should feel this in your lower back. You should feel it coming up a little bit and down a little bit as we're doing, say, a cat and a cow to take us out of a lower back, sitting in our chair for too long. But again, any of those poses can be done when you're standing, when you're sitting, or on a bed safely.
So it's going to provide you with eventually a little more strength in certain areas.
Absolutely.
Is it the same sort of routine for like let's say I'm in some sort of introductory level yoga class, is it repeated motions that, or do you branch on it and do new things after that?
Well, we try to do a basic. It's kind of like how there's, again, in a group exercise, you've got your leg kicks, you've got your heels, you've got your leg lifts, and they go in 3 directions. So again, you're going to want to do the same thing with a yoga-based premise of moving. So we do a lot, like I said in the beginning, you would have a forward and a back motion, you would have a left or right motion, and then I would teach you to take that into a circle, because a circle has no end. But you really do have an end, and then you have to reverse them, because you have 2 sides of your brain, and you want to work both. So as you learn right to left and left to right, it's the same thing. And then it's a matter of, again, taking it into more of a depth. And how are you holding yourself? Are you sure that you're, everybody, if I could get $1 for proper posture and breathe, breathe. And you just don't inhale, exhale until you're empty. So there's those sensations. And it just brings you to, and again, I have to be careful when I say this, but a body awareness, but of knowledge, not of uncertainty. A body knowledge.
So it's interesting about the breathing, because I had to do a little research on that at one point, because I was my heart was just racing all the time, and I'd lay down and it would be like boom, 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 boom. The breathing techniques that I learned made it go away almost like within 2-3 minutes.
Right.
Brought it right back down to where it was supposed to be.
And that's the quickness of it. If you're able to find that quickly. But again, are you someone that needs some music in the background? Lyrics or not, instrumental music only. Sounds, no sound. Do you want to be in the woods? Do you want to be at the park? Yoga can be done anywhere. Yoga can be done in the pool. We do it in the pool at the YMCA. So if you want to do something different,
that's interesting.
Take your yoga poses into the pool. And I'll tell you this, I take it to the deep end where you don't have a floor.
Yeah.
So there's that for intriguing. But coming back to something, I want to just briefly speak about Raquel Welch.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
A classy lady, I think.
I remember her.
Right? We remember her. Now,
Yeah.
way back in 1984, which, by the way, was a very good year for me, she wrote a book, and it was a total beauty and fitness program. And the book came upon my attention because it was given to me as a gift. And I started to delve into it now. And I'm someone who, I used to be an accountant, bookkeeper. I've led a very strange life, a bus driver. I've done lots of things. At 50, I blew everything up and I went into fitness. And I was lucky enough to be able to do that. So back to Raquel Welch. My body is the shape I live in, and it shapes the way I live.
What a shape.
What a shape.
Woo-hoo.
Can I have that one? But again, how much do you want to delve into that? You can delve into that a lot, or you can just... Last but not least, yoga is a 4-letter word. So feel free to walk around the house and just say yoga to anybody you feel the need to.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for that, all of that. Enlightening, very nice. If people wanted to get more information about yoga in general,
yes,
is there any reputable places, I don't know, internet sites that, like a National Yoga Foundation or something, where they could go and read more?
Yoga Journal is a great magazine. You would do it like the American Heart Association. They would have links too.
Okay.
A great place to go is actually Livestrong.
Yeah.
They have nutritional and all types of areas. So that is a good, livestrong.org is a good website. And going up through Kripalu and checking out some of their things is always a wonderful idea. There's lots of wonderful yoga places in and around Westfield. And I love the fact that at the Y we have a plethora of different yoga instructors and different things. We have a great instructor, Donna O'Connor, that actually does what we were asking about strength.
Oh my
it's
God.
actually a stretch and strength. And let me tell you, she puts you through the works in 45 minutes to an hour.
That's
and
a
you
tough
know
class.
that you've been there and that you've done some work, but you haven't jumped around in the gym either.
No, right.
So, but you know that you've worked, and that's yoga. Yoga is just that yin yang. It's that yes and no, that black and white, that up and down.
Pool yoga, chair
yoga,
yoga,
yes.
regular yoga, so to
Yoga
speak.
ball.
You know what you need to do?
What?
Golf yoga.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Fitbit. Look at your Fitbit. There's something in there if you happen to have one.
Oh, yeah?
One other thing, as Carol had mentioned, the senior center. They've done a wonderful job of getting exercise over to the senior center. It's not about sitting down and playing cards. That does have a purpose. Chess, wonderful thing to do. But Carol's wonderful class, Fun Fitness, get up and moving. It's wonderful. The class signups are actually this morning.
Yes, they are.
Get down there and see Tina and Mary Lou and sign up for some classes over at the senior center.
Very
or
nice.
join your local YMCA.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
I'm hoping
So-
we were done.
We are. We're a minute over, and thank you for coming in. And thank you, co-host Mama Palmer.
Thank
I'll just
you.
Call you that
Thank
for
you
now.
for having me.
Yeah, and
course.
so yeah, crosswalks. Be careful.
Yeah.
Don't look at your phone. Drink lemon water. Do the research on
Lemon
that.
water is good.
Yep. Look into yoga. I think this has been a great show.
I had fun. Thanks
So
for having me.
anyway, I'm your host, Joe Rouse. Thank you, everybody. And I won't say guys. And stay healthy,
you.
my friends.